To steal a line from the great Reese Davis, if you are not good enough, a loss will find you. Florida, Arizona State, you got found today alongside former NFL QB Matt Sims, Skubie Mageza. I am Sam Ravech. Welcome to the College Football Show presented by AT&T. For those of you who are watching on the great app of YouTube, please engage with us in the live chat. We would love to get your thoughts on this crazy week 2 and how things have kind of shaken out, and things have gotten shaken up a little bit in the world of college football, guys.
Yeah, I mean, on a week where you think there's not that much action, we end up getting it some way or the other. That is how college football goes. Now, remember, everybody in the YouTube chat, go ahead and interact with us. I will be looking throughout the show, but why don't we just start with our first highlight of the night for the team that got found, and that is Florida. DJ Lagway coming off a great game against Long Island as they host USF, a team that whooped ranked Boise State in week 1. So in the third quarter is where we pick it up after a quiet first half. Gators lead 9-6 until Brian Brown says, I know Keyshawn Singleton down there somewhere. 66-yard touchdown. This is just great execution, Matt.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you're lucky or you're good sometimes. Sometimes you just got to throw the football up and let your playmakers make those plays.
Yeah, and then the next drive, this wasn't great execution. The snapper snaps the ball over the punter's head. It's a safety. Best result could have been a touchdown. They get 2 points. It's 15-9. Fourth quarter, Florida receiving a punt now, just trying to get anything going. Vernell Brown III says, I got you. Finds a crease, huge gain on the play, and guess what?
Man.
You can tack on 15 for the late hit right there.
Freshman right there, balling, just showing the explosive speed.
Yeah, and then explosive arm here from DJ Lagway, finding Eugene Wilson III for 6. He was their leading receiver, 7 catches for 60 yards. Great ball here, right?
Really good ball, good read there in the RPO. It's all about accuracy in the low red zone. Perfect right between the number.
Later in the fourth, USF with the ball. This was arguably the biggest play of the game.
Yeah.
After a pass interference call, run goes for no gain. But check this out. Look at your screen. Brendan Brett takes an undisciplined decision here by spitting in the player's face like Jalen Carter did. Unsportsmanlike conduct gets USF in scoring position. They end up kicking the game-winning field goal. Nico Grammatica.
Yes, sir.
Automatica, as South Florida becomes the 4th team since 1936 to win its first 2 games of a season against AP-ranked opponents while being unranked in each win. Something tells me they'll be ranked next week after Coach Napier knows that there's a lot that they need to work on down in Florida.
We can sit here and talk about all these technical things, man. It's not good enough. Okay, so we got work to do. You guys know it. I know it. Anybody that watched it knows it. We got to take ownership of it, and we got to go back to work. So that's it.
That's it.
That is it. And let's see what happened in this game. Troy looks to take on 8th-ranked Clemson Tigers at Memorial Stadium. We picked this up in the second quarter. Troy leads Clemson 10-0.
What?
Clemson has possession. Clay Klubnik looks to throw. Pass gets batted and picked off here by T.J. Thompson for the 4-yard touchdown. It's 16-0 Troy.
I heard some boos in Death Valley today, by the way.
They were most definitely booing, but here's a reason to cheer.
Yep.
Goose Crowder, come on, man, picked off by Ashton Hampton. Now that lead is slipping away as Clemson on their next possession is gonna score as Klubnik finds Bryant Westcott Jr. for the 26-yard touchdown. He had a huge game.
Yep.
They're up by 1. Fourth quarter, Clemson leads by 4. Klubnik to Westcott Jr. again. He had 7 catches, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Clemson holds Troy scoreless in the second half to score 27 unanswered for their largest comeback win since 2020. It was a little bit scary there for Clemson, but they end up getting that win.
Very scary, but a good. That's why you rely on a veteran quarterback like Klubnik to get you through those tough moments.
The Ole Miss Rebels lost 3 games last year. One of those was to Florida. The other one was to Kentucky. And they met again with the Rebels looking to exact some revenge, this time on the road. Pick things up in the second. Ole Miss down 10. Austin Simmons finding Harrison Wallace III in this early second quarter. Penn State transfer. He's going to break a tackle here and take it 55 yards down to the Kentucky 1-yard line, first and goal for Ole Miss.
Good ball placement right there by Austin Simmons on the back shoulder there.
Very next play, Kawan Lacey taking the direct snap, goes in for the touchdown. He's been a bright spot so far for the Rebs, back-to-back 100-yard rushing games this year. Ole Miss cuts the lead to 3. Let's jump ahead to the third now. Zach Calzada, playing in his 20th year of college football, goes deep, finds Jamori McClain for the 44-yard gain, first and goal for Kentucky. And this time we're saying, here we go again. A few plays later, Seth McGowan taking the handoff. He goes in for the score. Kentucky ties this game up at 20 apiece.
These games are always close. We know it.
Ole Miss, though, would answer. Austin Simmons got banged up a little bit in this game, takes the snap, goes in for the score. And after a couple of back-and-forth field goals, Ole Miss will go on to win it 30-23.
Wasn't pretty. Gritty win, though, by Austin Simmons there. Threw 2 picks, back-to-back drives. Really did a good job of bouncing back and playing tough throughout the football game. Kawan Lacey really was kind of the backbone of the offense today, right? The workhorse for them. Really good win for Ole Miss. That's not an easy matchup for them against Kentucky.
Well, this was a great matchup as well, Matt. SMU and Baylor. Honestly, probably my favorite game of the day. We'll pick this up in the 4th. SMU up 7. TJ Harden says, just like MC Hammer, man, you can't touch this. Bounces it outside. His 3rd touchdown of the day. He ran for 115. SMU goes up 14, but Baylor would respond. Sawyer Robinson, already playing a great game, finds his favorite target of the day. Oh, Josh here. Gets in.
Josh Cameron.
Fights into the end zone. Baylor ties the game at 38. We're going to overtime. No, we're in the 4th quarter here. Robinson finds his wide receiver again. It's Kobe Prentice. Now they tied at 38. We're going into overtime. First overtime, Bryson Washington, who had a career-high 31 carries in this game, says, keep on feeding me. Leaves no crumbs on the table. Touchdown. Baylor takes the lead. SMU looking to answer, and they do. Kevin Jennings finds Romello Brinson. Diving grab. Ties the game at 45. Second overtime. SMU trying to get 3 points. No good.
I was like, what is that? Is that a cat?
Wide right.
Well, Baylor here, they get a chance, and it does not go wide right. They end up kicking the field goal, incompletion, 48-45, your final. Hey, this is a huge win for them.
1,000 yards total in this football game. All right, defense optional. 94 plays by Baylor in this one. Unbelievable. Really entertaining football game. Hopefully somebody can play defense on one of these
Baylor
teams.
lost that game. Dave Aranda, hot seat conversation once again.
Facts.
All right, for the first time since 2011, the border war was back. Kansas and Missouri have looked the part so far this year, and this revival did not disappoint. Missouri going to strike first here. Ahmad Hardy running for 32 yards. Hardy gets it in. They would go up 6-0. They would miss the PAT. It'd actually be blocked. A lot more from Hardy in this one. Kansas is going to strike back. This was kind of back and forth the entire game. Jalen Daniels passed to Deshaun Hanukkah for 15 yards. Kansas takes the lead 7-6.
Daniels did his thing in this game, as they usually do, but they were outgained quite a lot by Missouri, but the defense stepped up.
Beau Pribula coughs it up. Here's Austin Alexander for Kansas. One of the few mistakes by Mr. Pribula in this game. Alexander takes it in for the scoop and score. 3rd and goal at Mizzou's 1. Jalen Daniels scoots it in for the 1-yard touchdown. Daniels really tough in this game. It was 21-6 before the half, but then Missouri started to turn it on a little bit. That was Pribula finding Mississippi State transfer Kevin Coleman Jr. By the way, good day for Mississippi State. We'll get to them in just a bit. 3rd quarter, Missouri takes the lead. Then Kansas would kind of come right back. That's Brett Norfleet, 11-yard in the score, 28-24. We go to the 4th. Jayhawks will not be denied in this game. Daniels, another Hanukkah completion for 6 yards this time. Kansas takes it right back. You kind of get the gist of this game. This was just kind of a back-and-forth brawl. Norfleet again, this one, his longest touchdown of the day, 27 yards. The man is 6'6", 240 pounds.
Don't want to stop in front of him.
No, you don't. He's one of the many reasons I didn't play football. But Beau Pribula, pass complete there.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and this is Jamal Roberts running it in, 63 yards for the score. Tigers stretched the lead to 11, and that would do it. Daniels' pass intercepted. Dalen Carnell MIZ trailed by 15 points in this game. It was the largest comeback win for the program since 2016 against Arkansas. Pribula career highs in passing yards and passing touchdowns today.
I'd say so. Beau played fantastic. Beau knows. And then 6 explosive plays through the air, 6 explosives on the ground. Missouri did a really good job of keeping the offense balanced throughout the day.
How do you feel about Missouri now, man?
Pretty good.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. I really am. Especially from the QB.
They do this every year. Are you going to trust them? I don't know if I'm going to trust them just yet.
I like what I saw from Beau today. I really do. I was really impressed with it. Brett Norfleet, I think it's always important, right, in the SEC to have a good tight end that can win for you over the middle and be tough. Good skill players, the running game. I don't know, man. They're going to be a tough out. They really are. This could be a team they're going to be talking about late into the year this year.
Yeah,
you know, a team you could be talking about late in the year as well as Illinois.
I thought you were going to say Duke.
Well, let's see. 11th ranked Illinois taking on Duke. How did this game turn out? We'll pick it up in the first. Illinois punting the ball. Absolute boom of a punt.
Nice.
Washawn Brown drops it. It's recovered by Illinois at Duke's 38. Later on, it's 2nd and 1. Caden Fegan says, "Get out my way."
Whoa. The pocket movement by Luke Altmaier. Man.
Getting in there for the touchdown. 7-3, second quarter. Illinois with the rock again. Altmaier finds Cole Rusk.
What a pass.
From Rock Island, Illinois. He makes reservations for 6. Illinois leads by 8 there, third quarter. Illinois comes out of the half firing. Altmaier finds Justin Bowick. Ooh, that's another one to put Illinois up 21-13 at that point. Later on, how about some more? Hank Beatty says, "You can't see me."
A lot of these scores off of Duke turnovers, though. They shot themselves in the foot.
They are.
Today.
And I'm saying, hey, you're going to hear this guy's name a lot, Hank Beatty. This dude is talented.
All right, fourth quarter, talking about turnovers. Darian Mensah. Him and the Blue Devils made consistent mistakes in the red area. Tanner Heckel picks it off there, and then this will put the nail in the coffin. Yeah, Khalil Valentine in the end zone. Another score for Illinois. They end up getting the win, 45-19 to go 2-0 for the season.
Really good job by Illinois. Complimentary football at its finest. Special teams, we saw it. Defense, offense, right? But they forced 4 fumbles, 1 interception. Really good job by Luke Altmaier, just battling through the Manny Diaz type of scheme. Very aggressive, trying to get after the quarterback. Luke Altmaier showed his experience on the road here to get this win against a very good Duke football team. And made a really talented quarterback, Darian Mensah, look average, right? Which is saying something. So Illinois, a force to be reckoned with for sure, I think, going forward in the Big Ten. Man, are you guys ready?
Oh, no, here we go.
Matt Sims' inaugural highlight.
He's been asking for it.
Thank you to Ryan Hirsch, the Gator, doing a highlight for a Tennessee Vol on the day where the Gators lost in the highlights of the Texas Longhorns.
Wow.
Here we go. We got our boy Arch Manning down the sideline to Parker Livingston.
Down the sideline.
He is their best receiver, hands down.
He is their best receiver. I love this play design too. Fake the receiver screen, Parker right down the sideline there. This is a play we're going to see constantly from Texas on the offensive side of the football. All right, we go to the second quarter here. San Jose State, hey, let's run the football. Let's be consistent. No, we're going to punch that ball out. We're going to get that ball. And who got that strip right there? Right, that was I'm blanking on it right now.
It don't matter.
I'll get there.
Anthony Smith,
right? With Endries there up the seam. Arch Manning delivers a beautiful pass there up the seam for the touchdown. They come back here. Arch, this is the stuff that we got to start to get rid of out of our game. The young quarterback, it's 28-7 here late in the second quarter. He forces one up when he's really pressured. Hey, take the sack, rely on the kicking team, kick the field goal, or just throw the football away. Good learning lesson for the young QB. All right, they reset the pocket, little half sprint out, but this is the things that you can't coach. Arch's athleticism. They get him in space. He sees that no one's around him. He extends the play, keeps his eyes open down the field, looking to pass, realizes no one's there, turns on the burners, the little wiggle and hezzy there, and then he gets in the end zone for a touchdown. I just love the swagger, too, by 16, man. He's just got it all. Really good bounce-back game for Texas on both sides of the football. I know it was a slow start, but under the circumstances, right? Texas, defense, they got it all on that side of the football. Big thing, Taft, Simmons, both got banged up in this game.
Yep.
Hopefully that's nothing too serious. Arch got some more confidence. I'm still a little concerned, though, with the Texas run game and just their ability to be explosive that way and not being just so one-dimensional with their young quarterback as he adjusts to being the guy. But really good performance, 38-7 win over San Jose State, taking care of business, getting back on the track.
Really well done, Maddie. I thought that was a perfect highlight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I definitely dropped the ball on one of them. But, hey, that's what I do. That's why I'm here.
First time for everything. Lots of people calling Illinois the Indiana 2025. Florida State wants a part of that conversation after last week's evisceration of Alabama. First couple minutes into the first, as Tommy Castellanos was getting warm, Florida State's Gavin Sawchuk drives it right through the end zone, and this would start an onslaught of offense against poor old East Texas A&M. Florida State up 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game just, well, it went downhill pretty quick if you're an East Texas A&M fan.
I mean, the game started. I went to go make a sandwich. I came back, and then all of a sudden, it was a 4-score ball game.
By the
Nice
way,
little post there to Deuce Robinson there, two-man route, deep post, deep crosser, real easy concept. Deuce right over the top.
how about that combination, though? Because they connected a couple of times here again.
I mean, Deuce had a huge first half.
I think Deuce is a really good football player. I'm shocked that even USC let this dude walk out the door,
Yeah.
right, because of how talented he is.
4 catches, 160 yards in the first 15 minutes of the game.
You see his size, his presence on the field. It's just a physical aspect to that team on the outside there. You need those in clutch situations.
3rd and 5, second quarter behind the 50. Pass route in the hands of Mekhi Danzy. Takes off 53 yards to the house. Florida State would go on to win 77-3. The Noles scored on 10 straight drives to open up the game. The 6 passing touchdowns, their most in the game since 2011. Live and die by the portal. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Looks like they struck gold here this year for Mike Norvell's.
And look at that stat line right there. 8 of 11 for 237 and 3 touchdowns. And then we see Danzy with the exact same touchdown that he scored a week ago against Alabama. So you see Gus Malzahn, kind of playing it like Madden. He doesn't give a damn if he has to call the same play 3 times over. If it's working, why change it?
Yeah.
Really good job by Florida State taking care of business, looking good.
Those are some Jalen Milroe numbers right there, if I ever seen. All right, Oklahoma State versus Oregon. Hey, there was some talk about money being split before this game started, and
Dan Lanning heard it, by the way.
You're going to see the team that has more money get money. Dante Moore to Decoria Moore, 65-yard touchdown. That was a seed.
Dante Moore, man, I'm telling you, bro, this guy he's something, right? And it's impressive how the ball, right, just flies off his hand and just this composure and control throwing. It's amazing.
There's more. Hitting Malik Benson. Oregon would lead 27-3 there. And listen up, y'all. 69-3. I'm happy they stopped at that number. That is the final score. Dan has a squad, and nobody. Poor old Oregon. Who was talking about them before the season started? Not a lot of people, but now we are.
Well, we saw Vernal Brown, right, playing for Florida, right? The freshman doing really well. Decorian Moore, another freshman here at Oregon, really good football player. And Dante Moore, man, super impressive.
Well, once Mike Gundy, in all fairness to Oklahoma State, he's done a great job there in the past. Once he made those comments and Dan Lanning heard him, you knew the score was going to get run up, right? I mean, that's just kind of, we saw it against Colorado.
Right.
When statements are made, they're going to play up to those expectations. But it feels like Oregon is exactly where they want to be, right? I mean, not really talked about a ton, kind of lying in the weeds under the radar, and they got a big trip to Happy Valley coming up in a couple of weeks.
They do, but I really have a tremendous faith in just the way that they're structured, their football team. It really is impressive. And, of course, here we go again, 3 years in a row, from Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel to now Dante Moore. There is no room or space or whatever where we're like, oh, hey, he's got to get a little bit more experience. Dante Moore, like, right out of the womb, is just delivering dimes like it's nothing. It's just so impressive. Will Stein, super impressive.
All right, time now for Guarantee of the Game presented by AT&T. Let's revisit the Florida conversation. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Bigger storyline in this game, USF getting 2 wins over AP-ranked teams to start the year? Or is it Florida losing before they start the gauntlet of the schedule that they have to run in the SEC? Scoob, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with USF winning this game because we saw the way that they performed against Boise State last week. As soon as you saw them beat them by as much as they did, you knew that they were going to play Florida tough, and that is exactly what we saw. This is a team that is coached really well, executes at every single level. I mean, this was a tough ball game in the first half. It was 9-6, and the way that USF just battled throughout the ball game, I think shows you that they're ready to compete with just about anyone, and as they become just the fourth team since the 1930s to have wins over ranked opponents in their first 2 games of the season while being unranked. I thought it was really impressive what USF did today, and they're a team we have to keep an eye on for the rest of the year.
Definitely, and credit to Alex Golish, right, the 100%. Head coach, right, and just getting the boys ready to go. I mean, after beating a team like Boise State and exceeding expectations week 1, very easy for a football team to all of a sudden say, hey, we did a great job, it's good, let's just go into the next week. They had to go into the swamp, and they played with tremendous energy again, the way that they were able to play. That play right there by Brown there at the end was absolutely phenomenal. Just the toughness in which they played. Mac Harris, linebacker for South Florida, all over the place. The speed, the toughness, really impressive. Billy Napier, right? My one argument I would say is just like, man, let's help out our quarterback a little bit more. I just felt like every now and then the offense gets a little stale. It gets a little clunky. DJ's got a lot of talent. I still don't see enough consistency with the intermediate aspect of his passing yet. And I think that will come again with just more experience and getting more dropbacks. But there's just not enough gimme plays for him to build up his confidence and then kind of get hot and get streaky. And that's something I think they're missing out on just a little bit.
I asked you this before we came on the show, but does his injury and him not being able to really participate in spring practice, does that kind of play into him not really looking the part just yet?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, when you're not out there with the boys and going through just the routine of, hey, when you plant your foot here and you get to this yard mark, expect the ball here, and like going through all of that minutia is so important for you as a football team. It really is, and especially for the quarterback, a young quarterback who we are, of course, like Arch, demanding a lot of, probably a little too soon. But they are a good football team. They got tremendous talent, and I think that's what's frustrating, right? We see Vernal Brown. We see how explosive he is. Hey, can we get a few Mekhi Danzy-like plays like Florida State's doing to get this young man the football and into the play? So that's where I think, a little frustrated when I watch, right? Jaden Ball running the ball extremely physical, right? The offensive line is talented. We just need, I think, a little bit more mixture of play designs and creativity every now and then from Billy Napier in the Florida offense.
Yeah, you got to be able to get some type of consistency going. Everyone wants some type of confidence gaining throughout a game. I think Lagway had some easy throws that he just wasn't able to hit in the game.
And there were some of those, you're right.
Yeah. It's some that really could have been touchdowns that he just missed. And he has the talent to be able to make those throws, but there are other things that are aligned with the team being disciplined, like penalties. Florida had plenty of those in the game, and to be exact, they had 11 penalties for 103 yards.
Yeah.
That is costly in a game that was tight from the beginning all the way until the end. And let's not talk about the penalty that ended up costing them the game. This one, like spitting in the other team's face. We just saw Jalen Carter do that in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, and how costly it was, and how everyone was dragging his name in the mud.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you decide to do it in a game literally just a couple of days later.
The pass interference before that, there was 28 yards of penalties on that final drive for USF.
Which led for USF to be able to win the game. So those are the tiny things that just goes towards discipline. And sometimes those fall on the coach. And look at this. Florida's schedule does not get any easier.
There were some voters out there that thought maybe putting Florida at number 15 in the AP poll was accurate. I get it with the way that they finished the season last year. But put this into context. This is a program that hasn't won more than 8 games in a season since 2019. Billy Napier was essentially fired after they lost to Miami in week 1 last year. The last time that Florida lost a home game to a school from Florida not named Miami or Florida State was the Stetson Hatters in 1938. So, this is a program with a lot of expectations, no question about it. And there was a lot of goodwill, I think, heading into the season. USF rightfully to go crazy, I think, in the press box.
Oh, this is great right here.
Yeah, this is excellent. USF takes down another team from the Sunshine State next week. They're going to face off against Miami, so might they get it next? I mean, this is pretty special stuff.
This is what you. This is the beauty of college football.
Wow. The message boards were on fire today.
And quite frankly, I saw some videos on Twitter of Florida fans chanting "Fire Billy." Here it is. The Gator fans are not happy. I mean, he's been on the hot seat dang near since last year. They ripped off a bunch of wins. Of course, the fans are going to be upset, but you got to look at that schedule. It is a gauntlet. It is not easy for any head coach to be able to survive through that.
And we'll see. We'll see. Because last year we were going crazy about, you let Miami come in there and beat you in your home field. Well, we found out that Cam Moore's probably the best quarterback in the country a few weeks after that. And then we realized he is the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we're going to have that same case with Brown. He's a little bit of a different style of player, but we don't know yet. With this South Florida football team, they could be a team that is one of those what am I blanking on this, right?
Group of five.
Group of five,
Yeah.
thank you. Schools, right, that'll be battling for one of those spots in the playoffs. So appreciate you saving me there, Sam.
I got you.
Yeah,
that's
you,
what we're here for. We're a team. By the way, only 4.
Too much caffeine.
There's a lot of caffeine. Late night tonight.
Yeah.
Only 4 teams have started the season 3-0 with all 3 wins coming against AP-ranked teams. Now, USF has a chance to go down and make it 3-0 against Miami.
That's going to be such
Next
a fun game. I can't wait for that one, man.
One of those teams to start 3-0 against ranked teams was 1985 Michigan, which brings us to our game of the day.
This is what everyone in our chat is talking
college,
about. By the way.
I appreciate
chat,
that.
Here we go. Here's the highlight.
I'm going to call it the Jordan Classic. We got 2 teams, Jordan going up against each other. 2 of the winningest programs also in the game. Pick things up here. First quarter, no score. John Mateer stepping up, finds Jaron Kanik, makes a nice one-handed snag. Oklahoma on the move. Later in the drive, Mateer, Deion Burks with the pop pass. He goes in for the touchdown. Oklahoma started pretty strong, 7-0 in the early going.
Deion Burks looks really sharp, explosive. Every time he touches the football, they need to find as many ways possible to get for the football.
Jump ahead to the second quarter. Oklahoma driving before the end of the half. Mateer rolling out, finding Burks, and he takes it deep into Michigan territory.
Really good throw on the run right there. And that's the thing. That's what's going to make it difficult to defend OU all year is Mateer's ability to extend plays and get out of the pocket and throw well on the run.
And also do this. He can run it with the best of them, calls his own number there. We got a 14 Zippo in Soonertown. Third quarter. Things are getting heated on the Michigan sideline here. Justice Haynes and Bryce Underwood.
This, but then at the same time, make sure that it results in positivity on the field because this is just a part of the football. You know what I mean?
I'd say taking it 75 yards to the house, and the first play after the half would be positive. There's Haynes cutting the deficit to 7.
Yeah, and he went back on the sideline and said, yeah, you see that? Give me the ball some more.
I told you. Really good look, though, by Michigan there. Overload front there on their offense, right? Put an extra 2 tackles in there. Made it difficult for Oklahoma to defend.
One of the best plays of the night from Mateer. He finds Isaiah Satanga.
Incredible.
Somehow avoids that pressure. First and goal Sooners, and then a couple plays later, Mateer is going to keep it himself, and we've seen this movie before.
Good patience there on the run. Good block on the seal on the outside there. And you see the athleticism by 10 to get across the goal line there.
So Mateer, 21 for 34, 270 in the win, 24-13. Pretty good, look, I will give Bryce Underwood some credit here. 9 for 24 doesn't look like a great stat line, but again, we're talking about a true freshman going into that atmosphere, and I thought he did do some things pretty well in this game. I'll just give you the floor, Matty, and take wherever you want to go.
I mean, it's a 24-13 football game against, I think, a very good Oklahoma defense and a really well-coached, disciplined defense. Man, I was very impressed by Bryce Underwood. Even the way that he handled, right, hands on the sideline. Right, didn't shy away from it all. Got right in there. Right, was explaining his piece as why he did what he did and why he wasn't getting Haynes the football on some of those RPO looks. So I like the leadership in that sense. He's going to watch this film, and unfortunately, he's going to be very disappointed. There's going to be 3 or 4 plays that he missed in this opportunity, which is unfortunate, but. That's kind of typical. This is what Brent Venables does to young quarterbacks when he goes up against them. And it was really impressive win by Oklahoma. And I'm telling you, if we talk about Bryce Underwood, probably in like late October, we're going to say if they played again, it'd be different.
Yep.
And maybe they will. Maybe we'll be fortunate enough to see that matchup again. But Bryce Underwood, man, hey, sky's the limit for him. He's got all the talent in the world.
Shout out to the chat. I see Aiden in there. I see William in there. The sentiment right now is Bryce needs more experience and time.
Yeah.
Need to chill. They overhype him, but he's not trash. That was Aiden in the chat. And then William, I see you. Underwood is just a young freshman. He will figure it out eventually. But there are some concerning numbers when you look at his performance overall. Bryce Underwood went 0 for 8 against the blitz. With Oklahoma, it's the most that we've seen without a completion from a Michigan QB in the last 15 seasons. And then he only completed 9 of his 24 passes. That also is not great. That's the worst that we've seen from a Michigan quarterback.
But look at these clips right here.
Yeah.
Look at these clips. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to.
Look at the bodies around this young guy. Now, this is one of the plays that he's going to be a little disappointed they missed. He had a deep over there for a nice explosive play. Just settle, right? Retreat in the pocket and throw to the open receiver. But that's the beauty of a guy like Brent Venables, man.
Yeah.
Just all the different things that they do on the defensive front, the mixing of personnel, right? Different looks. And they were very aggressive getting past that Michigan offensive line consistently, playing in the backfield, making a lot of those RPOs and some of those quarterback design runs very difficult for Bryce to make the proper decision. So just a constant blitz and pressure the entire time. It's like a basketball team does a full court press.
Fair.
That's really what it was. So for a young player, it's tough to handle.
That's really smart from Brent Venables when you think about it. Obviously, you have a young, inexperienced quarterback going for the first real road test against this Oklahoma defense.
Right.
I mean, this is how many times they blitzed him in the first half, and they basically got to him every single time. 3 pressures, 4 blitzes, and with a quarterback like Bryce Underwood, I mean, he just turned 18 2 weeks ago, so he's trying to play fast in his head and be faster. So therefore, I saw a couple of times in the game where the ball came out with a little extra oomph, which at times can make it harder for your receivers to catch. There were some throws where if he had just a little bit more touch, maybe there could have been a play made on the ball by the receiver, but he does need more time to develop, and we're going to see that. But on the other side, Mateer now. Here's a fun fact with Mateer that I just saw from our boys in the Stats and Information group for ESPN. So he entered the day 16-1 to win the Heisman, tied for the 4th shortest odds. Now he is 9-1 with the 2nd shortest odds behind Garrett Nussmeier. Mateer is looking like a Heisman favorite if he keeps this up, Matt, because, we talked about him looking like Johnny Manziel out there.
Mateer is one of the most exciting watches in college football this year. He really will be. And I think it's just because he plays dangerously. All right, he really does. He toes the line every single time he drops back. You're just like, man, what is he going to do? His athleticism, his ability to throw on the run, the throw to Satania, was absolutely ridiculous. Longest streak with a pass TD and a rush TD, 8. That's a pretty good list of people right there.
I'd say so,
Lamar Jackson twice. All right, so that just shows you how much of a dog he is.
And he's
actually
right there with him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, John Mateer, I really like this offense. Arbuckle, the way that he designed this offense too around his skill set is extremely impressive. And man, Brent Venables. We know how good he is on the defense side of the football.
He just
now
needed
with
an
Mateer and this offense,
He just needed an offense.
It's very scary. And we saw Deion Burks with the football in his hand. The whole shot that he threw against cover 2, I think it was, opposite hash. I'm just telling you, man. How many teams are in the Division I football? Right? A lot, right? 100 and whatever?
130 plus.
Man, I'm telling you, only 1 or 2 other cats maybe have attempted that throw, and Mateer's one of those cats, and he put it right on the dot.
Yeah, some people in the chat are saying Mateer, he's the best QB he's seen so far in college football. So we see your YouTube chat. We're right there. Mateer is going to be a problem.
Hey, you know what? College football, a lot of good quarterbacks this year.
A lot of good quarterbacks, no question about it. I thought also this was probably the biggest win for Brent Venables in his tenure at Oklahoma. Things were not going great. 2 losing seasons in 3 years there. And I also thought, big picture, real quick, this was a big win for the SEC. As much as we don't want to really, pit those 2 conferences together, though, that is the biggest rivalry off the field right now between the SEC and the Big Ten. So with Ohio State beating Texas, with Florida losing, Alabama losing, this was a big win, I think, for the conference that just means more.
We appreciate you making us look good.
That's that's all I'm doing.
It was a tough day.
Trying to help everybody out. By the way, your volunteers look really good as well. We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Right.
Let's go to Stark Vegas, shall we? Because that's what it looked like by the end of the night. Reigning Big 12 champs won this game by a touchdown in Tempe last year. Now Sparky and Sam Levitt head into Bulldog territory. Cowbells were ringing early and often in this one. Blake Shapen connecting with Anthony Evans III, the Georgia transfer. He takes it all the way to the crib, 48 yards for the score. Mississippi State up 7-0. Here we go, second quarter. After a bad Arizona State punt, Shapen hits Brennan Thompson deep for another 40-plus yard strike. Matty, Blake Shapen missed the last eight games of the season last year, but he was one of the better quarterbacks in the country through the first 4 games of the season.
And you can see right here, just good job looking off the safety. He knew where he was going the entire time, and just beautiful football, delivering it over the shoulder. Great adjustment, too, by Thompson, just not missing a beat there with that one.
This was also like Sam Levitt's worst game of the season passing-wise last year. It wasn't
to the SEC.
It wasn't a great start to this one. His day went from bad to worse. Throws an interception to Javen Williams there. That stalls the Sun Devils' push. Third quarter now, Arizona State trailing by 14. Finally get the ground game going. Man, I mean, it's glaring you're missing a Cam Skattebo right now, but Raleek Brown going on the ground. Then Kanye Udo, the Army transfer, caps off the drive with a 6-yard score. So 8-play drive, 75 yards there. All 8 plays were rushing. So that was a clear indication of, hey, we got to get the ground game going.
Yeah, let's be physical. Let's punch them in the mouth, slow this game down, and reestablish our dominance.
To the fourth we go. Sparky, 4th and 1 from the 2-yard line. Levitt's going to scramble and find Jordan Tyson, who's quiet, but that's his favorite target. I think one of the biggest questions for Arizona State this year, who else is catching balls outside of Jordan Tyson?
Yeah, well, the list isn't very long right there, so it really is Jordan Tyson. But, the key really was for them to just keep it on the ground throughout this football game and stay in it.
It's 20-17. We got 40 seconds left. Shapen taking a shot. He's got a man. Finds Evans again. Wow. A huge 58-yard score.
Warm up the bus.
Shapen, beautiful pass. Mississippi State wins it 24-20, and they down the 12th-ranked Sun Devils. Jeff Lebby, in year 2, restocked through the transfer portal after a disappointing 2-10 season last year. They have already matched their win total from 2024 with their 2 wins, and we've got goalposts
of course
leaving Starkville. I mean, this is going to be a party.
Is it really an upset? But I mean, it was a 2.5-point favorite. So Vegas thought this would be close, but we see the rankings. Number 12 being beat by an unranked team, Mississippi State.
Hey, no longer the doormat of the SEC. I like Mississippi State a little bit this year in Jeff Lebby.
I like what I saw today, right? Really impressive. And, hey, Mississippi State, yeah, you take those uprights, all right? You go celebrate, okay? You do your thing, man. But I was really impressed, too, by just Dillingham's ability to say, all right, hey, Sam's not having a good day. Let's run the rock, right? 51 rushes for 251 yards on the ground. So Arizona State played tough, right? Relying on the ground game, right? Pretty aggressively in this game, but just too many mistakes, too many blunders, and of course, when your star quarterback throws 2 picks, it doesn't help on the road.
Yeah, a win over a ranked Arizona State team really validates what Jeff Lebby is doing there in Starkville. Hey, guys, did you get your Powerball tickets today?
I did not, sir.
I did. I didn't hit on any of them.
Okay.
Susie from Alabama did, though, and she has her mind set on what she's going to do with the $1.8 billion jackpot.
Let's hear it, Susie.
What would you do if you won the big Powerball jackpot?
I'll tell you exactly what I'd do with the first $70 million. I'd pay off Kalen DeBoer and get him the heck out of the University of Alabama, and then I'd take whatever else it took to get rid of the AD, old Byrne. I don't like him either.
I don't like him either. All right, well, I mean, you're getting $1.8 billion, and then you're taking $70 million, go right to firing people. But yeah, I think Alabama responded today a little bit, 73-0 over UL Monroe. But Alabama football seemed to enter a very dark and uncharted place following the beatdown at the hands of Florida State last week. And for the first time that I can remember, guys, we're hearing this Alabama team described as lethargic, effortless, soft. They responded today, I think, in a good way, but things were shaky there for a little bit. Did the result today give you any more confidence that Alabama might be heading in a better direction, Matty?
Did it give me, it does in a sense, right? Because I like the fact that both quarterbacks were able to perform well, right? I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we were trying to do the 2 quarterback thing so early in the football game. But Ty Simpson responded extremely well to all the criticism, right? Even from his own head coach. I like the fact that he came out, didn't throw an incompletion, 17-17 for 226. Yeah. Really clear and decisive. I thought they were extra aggressive on the offensive side of the football to make sure that their quarterbacks got into the game quickly. It still doesn't answer all of the questions that we had to Florida State, right, and what we saw in that matchup.
Yep.
But at least somewhat helps us transition into week 3, right, where we don't have to really think about Alabama being in total trouble, right?
Yeah.
But
Complete disarray.
It's still at the same time, right? It's questionable, and there's a lot to prove for this football team.
I think
still.
there was a lot of shock after their week 1 loss because you saw an unranked Florida State team that literally just got pieced together when they only won a couple of games last year.
Right.
And Alabama got caught off guard. This is a team in Florida State that is probably going to be in the playoffs, and they've shown us that they're a contender this year, and Alabama came into that game not really knowing what they were going to get, and Florida State punched them in the mouth. They had more energy, they were more physical, they wanted that game more, and they didn't come out with the right intensity.
Yeah.
But now you look at Alabama having to understand that you got to come into this game 100%, and we saw that in today's game. 17 for 17 for Ty Simpson. That's the most completions without an incompletion in a game in SEC history for a quarterback. So that was a really impressive performance from him because he was efficient through the air.
Yeah.
He was efficient with running the ball. He ran that offense quite well, and he's just a third FBS player overall to go 17-17 or better in a game in the last 30 seasons. So, like, no matter what, this was an impressive performance to put on because stand on the other side of the room, throw the ball 17 times. If you're going to complete it every single time, that's impressive. He did it in a football game. So I think Alabama cleaned things up. But I'm with you. The switch up of the quarterbacks, a little bit of uncertainty there. They're still trying to discover who they are.
Yeah.
And we'll see what they find.
And you got Wisconsin, right, on the 13th coming up, and that's going to be a big one. Then you follow up with Georgia, too. So we're going to find out really quickly just how much more improved this football team has had. But there is nothing better, right, for a football team than a devastating loss early in the year. And who's my example, Sam, from a year ago? Notre Dame versus Northern Illinois, right? That really woke the football team up.
The head coach,
the team. Too. You can say that about Clemson. At least with Clemson, it was like a top 10 matchup, a little bit different.
Schedule up.
But, man, hopefully it's going to wake this football team up to be sharp against Wisconsin.
I mean, they needed this win because now you go into Wisconsin with a little bit more confidence. But after that, you got Georgia. You know, Vandy's not a walk in the park. They surprised Alabama last year.
Yeah.
Missouri, good team today. We just saw what them and Beau Pribula could do, right? Tennessee, another team. Aguilar, I mean, he could really sling that thing. South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma. I mean, from now on until their third to last game of the season, it is going to be a burner for Alabama.
And this is why the SEC teams at the end of the year say, well, we play in our conference, and it's crazy. We should get a little extra love because of that.
That is tough.
But it is tough. It is, right? And I think the best thing that I saw from Alabama today was just the energy on the defense side of the football, right? Even Justin Jefferson getting the interception was a big-time play for him, right? Just the fact that they're being a little bit more physical, finishing through the plays, right? Gang tackling a little bit more. We didn't see any of that in Florida State, so I like just the overall energy that we saw from the defensive side of the football, right? And, of course, the precision from the QBs is important.
Energy was great, and also I think this was the first game under Kalen DeBoer at Alabama that his team had fewer penalty yards than their opponent. All 14 games prior to that, they had more penalty yards. So we're moving in the right direction, Alabama. But week 2 off to a great start. Here are some of the great sounds that we heard from the noon window earlier today.
Robinson again, this time holds it in. Around and Danji, we're going to see that speed.
Brings it in. Skyler Bell, a one-handed catch under pressure. CFB coming along. Athleticism of March, maybe.
Time now for the playbook presented by Modelo. We go back to the touchscreen with our very own QB, Matt Sims. Matty, Beau Pribula. A lot of new quarterbacks in new places this year. He is one of them. Came over from Penn State, obviously. Spent 3 years sitting behind Drew Aller, but this really felt like a coming out party for the junior against Kansas. What did you see on tape today?
Man, what I saw is Eli Drinkowitz. Man, this boy's having a nice celebratory drink tonight because this guy is playing some really good football. So right here in this situation, we're going to get a 3-by-1 formation. 3 receivers on this side, 1 on that side. We're going to do a little short, quick motion here. He's going to hesitate, Kevin Coleman, and then he's going to sprint across. We have man coverage on the backside, and they're basically just running a little spot route and a quick out to the front pylon. And it's really hard to sift through all of this traffic for the guy that's covering Kevin Coleman in man coverage here. And as soon as he puts on the speed burst and gets to that opposite side of the formation, this guy has to sift through all of that stuff, right, to cover Kevin Coleman in the flat right here. Easy pitch and catch right here for Beau Pribula to hit the touchdown. Really good start here for the offense. Hey, it's 21-6 at that point. So that's a really big moment for this offense to get back and build a groove. And Beau Pribula, did a phenomenal job of doing just that.
Almost all of their kind of playmakers that were on the 10-win campaign team last year left. So they needed some players. You can go to the portal, but you need players within your program to really step up. And it looks like the 6'6", 240-pound tight end, Brett Norfleet, is going to be one of those guys this year.
No doubt. And I love how they kept it simple here in the low red zone area. We're on the 11-yard line. We're in a 3-by-1 formation again. So Beau's getting a really good vision as far as what the defense is doing and identifying it extremely well. Right here in this look, we're going to have basically like a quarters push. So this weak side safety is playing some sort of like quarters version. Everyone is trying to push to this side of the field to cover the 3 receivers to the field there. What I love about this concept, though, it's really simple. Brett, be big, be strong, get across the goal line, and let our young quarterback wearing number 9 just absolutely rip it right into tight coverage there, right there on the front end line. I love this play because it's simple. We're just telling this guy, hey, find the open spot, find that zone, let our quarterback just turn and rip it and be aggressive. You're going to see a really cool view of it right here. Just all the bodies, you see them working to that 3 receiver side. You see that Beau, he's got his eyes on Norfleet the entire time. Great follow through, great release, driving off that back foot. Perfect spiral on the throw, right between the numbers. Fantastic operation by the offense there in that low red zone area.
Brett Norfleet is like the perfect tight end name, too, by the way. Like, it just doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't sound any more Nordic than that.
No,
I love it. Yeah.
7 for 76 today for Norfleet, 2 touchdowns. This one here was his second in short yardage.
Short yardage situation, 4th and 1. And this is the old, like, hey, we got this great play up our sleeve when we need it, man. So we get this speed sweep motion coming across, right? We're going to get him in the flat. We're going to sell everything over here to this way. This receiver is going to run a little crosser this way. But here's Norfleet again, going down into the line of scrimmage, almost as if like he's blocking down in the play concept. And he is just going to run a nice little simple shallow cross, right underneath the opposite X receiver that is basically like a pick man for him. Beau is going to look heavy eyes over here to the field, and it's just window dressing. Hey, I'm looking this way. He's going to turn quickly and say right to Norfleet for an easy completion. So watch just how subtle it is. The whole time, take the cheese, look that way. Eyes get back. Great job again. Norfleet staying underneath that pick man. Everyone's defensive eyes get caught with Beau going here to the field. He slips out the back door. Nice soft pitch and catch. And that was really the key, I think, for the entire game for Beau. 30 of 39 on the day for 334 yards, right? But the yak yards by Norfleet and the rest of the crew was something that was really impressive. You see all the flow headed here, right? All the eyes of the defense are on this side of the field. We slip out Norfleet, out the back door this way. Really nice soft pitch and catch by Beau there, and he does the rest, taking it into the end zone. Really great operation by the Missouri Tigers.
A lot of pass plays in there. Missouri got it done on the ground, too, today.
They did. Well, hey, it's the playbook. I get that.
And it also, in the SEC, there's been some questionable play from Alabama, from Florida. It feels like this could be a year for a team like Missouri to kind of make it out of the pack and make their way to Atlanta. So that's something to keep an eye on as we go down the stretch of the season. That was the playbook presented by Modelo. Let's take a look at some of our best plays for week 2. This one, SMU and Baylor shootout in Dallas. Romello Brinson catches the tip pass, turns it into a house call. 75 yards to the hoose. How about the Ponies today? Didn't get it done, but still impressive nevertheless.
Exciting football game.
Cool things.
Great concentration by the receiver. How difficult that is to adjust the body there mid-air, tip the football to himself and run in for the touchdown. Fantastic play right there.
All right, how about what Duke did. They hung with Illinois, but this play was a big reason why.
No way he's in.
Andrell Anthony
Oh,
with the
wow.
Michael Jackson toe tap grab. Come on, man. This is different. Talk about getting your toes in there. However, Illinois would win this one 45-19.
Seminoles put a little trickery of themselves here against East Texas A&M. Makai Danzy on the reverse, 53 yards for the score. Noles ran away with this one, literally 361 yards on the ground today for Florida State.
You think Danzy likes that play?
Yeah,
Same
I think
concept
so.
that they run
Facts.
for the touchdown a week ago against
Yeah.
Alabama. It worked just as well this week.
You know we love a big man, TD. Skylar Gilhoward tips it and picks it and runs it in for the score.
Look at the knee drive.
The big man said he played running back in high school, a little bit of tight end, a little bit of receiver back 50 pounds ago.
Wow.
So since you're 50 pounds heavier, that's a thick six, my friend. Red Raiders score 60
Who the hell would want
for
to
the
tackle
second
that
week
guy?
in a row. He
Not
can
me.
move. Get a package for him.
Jerome Bettis.
Guys, I was about to be unsufferable today. With UConn winning in basketball and football, that's a problem for you guys, but couldn't get it done today up in the Dome. Here's Skylar Bell with a nice grab. How about number 12 coming in for Syracuse also and just like punching the crap out of my guy Bell? But a great catch.
It's
couldn't
legal.
get it done.
I bet when he made that play,
Let's
they're
stay in
gonna
the
win.
same game because this is for you back in my day, football savages, because Fran Brown had his team running suicides after the win. He said, I don't care if we won the game in overtime against UConn. We went into overtime against UConn. You got to love and hate this at the same time because, Coach, come on, man. Come on, man.
He said he was going to get the shower anyway, so he's like, who cares about a few
he
extra
does
sprints?
get the
But
shower.
Herb
Great
Brooks
point.
right now is smiling down at Fran Brown saying,
Very good.
hey,
Yeah.
never settle, never play for just the dub. It's more than that, right? And Fran Brown really setting the culture.
Those were some of the highlights. Here are some of the lowlights. Beau Pribula, again, played really well. We just saw him in the playbook there. This was not a highlight, maybe
Not
the
at
only
all.
mistake of the game for him.
What are we doing?
It's not a game of perfection, boys, I got to tell you, but hey, he does a good job. He tries to tuck the football away, but that's really good pursuit right there. Stack monster by the Jayhawks getting that strip there.
You never fumbled, right?
I fumbled too much.
How about this? Kate, this is the punter trying to kick the ball
What are we doing here?
away, but he
Man.
ends up kicking it to the other team in the Oregon State game. I mean, the coach had a comment about this.
I'd say so. Yeah.
And he
I'd say
said
so.
it was an effing joke.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the reason why it's on our not top plays. That's how you kick the ball to the other team to score a touchdown.
Hey,
The
Jay.
show is PG, but you can check it out online. It's
Yeah,
a
you
great
sure
interview.
can.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik here trying to make a play for the Tigers against Troy. This was a really dicey one for Clemson at home.
no.
And this was a low light.
This is when we thought that we were really going to see an upset here.
Yeah.
This is when Clemson's puckers got a little tight.
Yeah,
All right?
exactly.
It got real serious.
In the AP poll as we head into week 2, Ohio State jumped from number 3 to number 1 in the win over the Longhorns. They dropped all the way down to number 7, LSU, receiving only 3 first-place votes. A little surprising. Maybe also surprising that you got 3 one-loss teams in the top 10. We had some good traction from our kind of power rankings last week. So what we're going to do is we're going to power rank our one-loss teams here. So,
Yeah.
look, not a lot of confidence in a lot of these teams right now, or certainly a lot of question marks. But let's go ahead and fill this in pretty quickly, and then we can kind of adjust. Go ahead, Maddie.
All right,
so you're
just-
going
just
Clemson,
ripping here.
Clemson
Going-
1. All right,
going
go ahead.
Clemson 1.
We'll discuss
All right.
on the back end. Go
Let's
ahead. You fill it in.
see. From there.
I like
All right.
Notre Dame, too.
All right, I'll second
allow
that.
it? You'll
I'll
allow
second
it?
that
Okay.
motion, Captain. All right, now from
right.
here, this is where it gets a little dicey. Okay, it's got to be that. Okay.
Texas at number 3 for
Texas
our one-loss teams.
at
Remember,
3.
One-loss
Hit them
teams.
again. There you go.
Yep, hit it again. There
you
we go. All right, and now 4. I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that one.
Wait, what do you want?
I might go Michigan in the top 5. I mean,
Michigan, yeah, at 4.
I don't know about at 4. I might put them at 5 and
Okay.
then throw Bama or
Let's throw it up and then we'll discuss. What do you want at number 5
or is
here?
it-
Alabama?
Let's put
I think-
Alabama for now.
Yeah, I think they'll
okay.
bounce back a little bit this year. I think just as
Yeah.
much as the criticism is warranted, I do like. Let's not forget Alabama is an incredibly talented and veteran team.
Agree.
So-
And, you know, I love the roster. I do. I love there's tons of skilled players all over the place. Just not enough on the offense side of football for really to buy it. Can they score? I'm not sure about that. Went with Clemson number 1 simply just because Cade Klubnik, experienced quarterback, been through a lot of games, been through just a gritty guy, right? Surrounded by great talent, the receiver position. We saw a little bit more from Adam Randall today, which I was excited about, right?
You,
the big
gotta
running
give
back.
him more carries.
Got to give him more carries. And I still think, despite the defense not looking super sharp, they still have a ton of talent on the defense side of the football.
I know a lot of people are going to look at this and say, why is Michigan at that spot? And quite frankly, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to switch Michigan and Alabama because I like Alabama there. Then I'm going to put Baylor here. What Baylor did against SMU today was really impressive to me.
What they did against Auburn was impressive, and they lost the game.
Even though they lost that game, right?
Are we concerned that they are giving up like an average of 500 yards a game? That's my problem, right?
I am going to trust Dave Aranda to get this figured out because he is a defensive-minded head coach.
Right.
And at some point, he's going to get some things figured out there. Struggled with rushing quarterbacks, which is why Jackson Arnold ran for over 130 yards. But what they did offensively in that 2-minute drill was one of the best 2-minute drills that I've seen an offense run in quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, they ran the ball. They were patient. They made great throws. They got out of bounds. To me, that says a team that is coached really well, and they were able to execute until the final moment.
Well, we'll see, right? I mean, the Big 12, to me, is a wide-open conference now, and they're a team that absolutely can score with the best of them. So they can be hanging around all season long.
What about this? What about moving Texas up a little bit? Did you not see enough from Arch Manning to the point where we can say that he will continue to develop and grow? Because to me, there were flashes. There was some good, like some really good, and then there was some like, clean that up towards the end of the season, and you're going to be in a great position.
I would say the reason why I put Notre Dame at number 2 originally was just because I think they have more explosive players, right, on the skill group, right, receivers and running backs, right. So that's where it comes from me.
Which we didn't even see the running backs really get going against Miami.
No,
so
that's a concern, right? Miami was really dominant in the line of scrimmage, and the fact that Notre Dame really couldn't get either Price or Jeremiah Love going, right, a little bit of concern. But I'm kind of leaning more towards Miami's a legit playoff contender, right? And they just had a bad matchup in that one to start the season. But I just don't see enough from the running back position from Texas right now. I know we like Parker Livingston, and he's impressive. But outside of him and entries, I don't know if they got enough dudes on the outside to really stress defenses late in the year when they need it with the young quarterback on top of that.
Would we do this at all? Have you seen enough from Kalen DeBoer and Ty Simpson? It was 17 for 17. I mean, that is the first time SEC quarterback has done that. An impressive performance for him.
I am. I need to see a little bit more against a more legitimate opponent for me to say that they're primed and ready to go for there.
So I put Baylor in at that number 5 spot.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that you would like to see at that number 5 spot besides Baylor?
I mean, I think the only 2 that we could really mention here seriously would be Michigan and SMU, right? And
Not even Florida. Not even Florida.
No, honestly, I want to say Florida, but we saw their schedule, and it's scary, dog. It really is.
I mean, Alabama's schedule is scary. We just saw that right there. I mean, they're essentially going to be facing.
You know what, though? It's Grubb's offense versus Napier's offense. I like Grubb's offense a little bit better. I think I have a little bit more faith in him to create more opportunities for his quarterbacks in crucial situations, even though I think Florida's skill group is better.
What would you like to see with Baylor right there?
I wouldn't like to see any of that. What I would like to see is this.
Okay.
I would like to flip those.
Okay, so
I'd take Notre Dame 1. Notre Dame 1, Clemson 2. You know why? Clemson lost at home. Notre Dame went on the road.
Okay.
And I thought that if nothing else, and I know Marcus Freeman doesn't take moral victories, I think that he was validated in his choice to go with C.J. Carr at the quarterback spot. We saw a lot of really good things from them, and I do think that they will get the running game going. Now, the Boise State game that they have on their schedule right now doesn't mean as much as it might have in the past, but they get the rare off week in week 2 with A&M coming to their house next week. That's going to be a massive game.
I think that's a great point, Sam. I'm with you on that one. And I just switched out Baylor for Michigan really just because Michigan's defense is legit. Right, and they're not going to see too many quarterbacks like Mateer the entire season,
or
right?
defenses
so
like Oklahoma.
that too, right? So I like that, right?
And then I think we're going to look at that game and say, "Wow, Oklahoma was a really good football team."
No doubt, and I think Underwood, right? I know it's 9 of 24 and all that. I still thought he did some good things on the road, and I think there's a lot of room for growth for this young football player. He's going to be a totally different player by the end of this month. He's going to be a totally different player by the end of October. So I think Michigan could be a team that really is fighting for a spot late in the year.
These 3 quarterbacks, including this one over here, number 1, all those guys are going to look different come the end of the season.
Sorry.
You just had to put him at
My
the
bad.
Who separates himself
had
from
to
the
get,
pack.
Had to
Yeah.
get a little dig in there towards the
Sorry,
end.
guys.
All right, so those
Yeah.
are our power rankings for one-loss teams. Stocks are rising and falling as we speak, week to week. So we go to the Gridiron Stock Exchange.
Look at that graphic.
The bell has
Fantastic,
been
boys.
rung.
What
The
a
market
way.
is open. Let's start in the Big Ten, guys. You got to pick one. You got to be buying stock in one of these. Matty, you buying stock in Oregon or you buying stock in Penn State right now?
Yeah, I mean, hey, right here,
Okay.
right? I like the leadership. I trust the offense. Drew Rowler and the boys, it's just kind of like the same story again, right? Offensively. Got a lot of transfers in at the receiver position, but still just not enough explosive plays. They make it look really easy no matter who they play against. They can move the football. They can run it. Whittington is a tough runner, right? Dante Moore is a really good quarterback, already just making good decisions.
Yeah.
They got a tough defense. I'm taking Oregon.
Who you buying, Scoop?
Listen, if we're talking stocks, right now, Penn State is like your pharmaceutical stock right now. Okay? It's just been there forever. People put them right at the top. Am I really going to buy it? It's going to be a slow build. They're already ranked second in the country. Of course, I'm going to go with Oregon. They're kind of
This
like
is like
NVIDIA
AI.
right now.
It is.
They're
It's
kind of like
yeah.
NVIDIA. I like where they at. I'm going to buy Oregon. People haven't been talking about Oregon as much as they should.
Yeah.
We saw what Moore can do. A whole lot more.
Yeah.
That's what I like. So I'm buying Oregon stock because I think that they are a championship contender, and they might even be better than they were last year this season.
Let's have a dialogue once, if it happens, Penn State takes down Oregon in a couple of weeks because
sir.
this is the best team that James Franklin has had on paper.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. They haven't won a title since the Mets won a World Series in 1986.
That was cold, Sam.
I know.
All right,
I know.
let's go to
Had
the
throw
next
a shot.
one. That-
All right,
that
let's go.
hurt. That
We got Florida State
better than that.
or Miami. Buying stock in Florida State or Miami.
Chat, who are you picking here? Are you
This is
are
tough.
you buying Miami or are you buying Florida State, Chat?
Can you buy both? I'll let you buy both if you want, but it's going to be expensive. It's going to come at a cost.
It's gonna be expensive.
It's going to come at a cost.
Okay. That's where you're going?
For right now, yes, I'm going to go here. Why? Because I think it's because Gus Malzahn.
That's
I
your
feel,
reason. Okay.
I feel like I just have faith in what he has done so far with Tommy, Deuce, the boys, all that, just the mixture of formations, the way they get defenses kind of running sideline to sideline and then beat you vertically. Like what I see. So, now, also, young quarterbacks, if you're out there, if Miami's recruiting you, you can't sign fast enough. Okay, Shannon Dawson is one of the best quarterback developers in college football right now, other than Will Stein, right? But man, got some really good things going for this team, but I'm kind of edging a little bit more towards Florida State right now.
Does like the Syracuse loss and the Georgia Tech loss come up in your mind when you're thinking about buying Miami stock a little bit? Because they've had a slip up in the past.
No, come on, that was last year, bro. Don't
It's
listen.
been the last couple years.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
That's
when
true.
you're thinking about buying stock, you click on where has the stock been in the last year or so, right? The Miami stock, when you look at where it's been the last 52 weeks, there was a point where it was low. But hey, right now I could buy pretty low on Florida State, right? The
Right.
stock isn't that expensive. So if we're
14,
talking
14.
stocks,
Yeah.
I am buying 14th ranked Florida State and what they are doing.
Yeah.
Miami, a little expensive right now. Everybody's into Miami. Everybody's talking Miami. That is the hype of the town. So I'm
Yeah.
going with Florida State because, to your point, I love what Gus is doing. Nick Saban said it on College Game Day today. When he has a running quarterback like Tommy Castellanos, it is a different situation, a different beast, and he knows how to beat SEC teams the same way Nick Saban has struggled against him when he was at Alabama. So I'm going with Florida State. Back-to-back games where they score a whole bunch of points, and they're looking like a team where they can dominate physically, defensively, and offensively.
The YouTube chat agrees with both of you guys. 70% are on Florida buying stock of Florida State. So they're with you guys.
Okay.
The Knowles.
Smart investors.
Knowles are hot.
Appreciate it.
All right.
First time we've ever agreed on anything.
We're going to the SEC now.
Yes,
We're going to the SEC, and these are a couple of teams that nobody's talking about. We got some good stock options
Chat,
here.
which one are you buying? Are
Missouri
you
or
buying
Tennessee?
Missouri or Tennessee, Chat?
Now, Matty didn't play for Missouri, so we know he's buying Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, am I biased? Yeah, hell yeah, I am. All right,
But in reality, they've looked good.
they've looked good. We always have to remember, though, too, right? Josh Heupel, he wants to run the football, right? And they did a really good job, I feel like, like early on this season so far, just establishing the run. Joey Aguilar has fit in perfectly with this offense. Really good decision making. He's also a physical presence on the field, so I expect him to get more involved in the running game himself as they get to more tougher opponents. Arian Carter is one of the best middle linebackers in all of football with his speed. Joseph off the edge. Fantastic pass rusher. Dominic Bailey, the physicality that he brings to it. So Tim Banks and that defense loaded with a high-powered offense and Josh Heupel that's focused on the run. I'm kind of erring a little bit more towards Tennessee at the moment, but God, I liked what I saw from Beau Pribula today.
Beau Pribula was special today.
Why can't we say his name? I can't say it either.
Beau Pribula. Yeah.
Beau knows. That's all we know.
Beau knows.
Exactly. Man, I see a number over there. If I'm going to be buying low on something, it's going to be Missouri. But if there's
You're taking
stock,
this too literally.
But if there's a stock that I believe in that will continue to go, because this one, right, I can buy it now, but I got to get out at some point and leave with my gains because I feel like there's going to be a crash coming on.
That's a good point.
I like their schedule. Not everyone's playing the same schedule in the SEC.
That's true. But a smart buy for me will be Tennessee. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right, fair enough.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, one of the biggest questions for Tennessee, replacing Dylan Sampson, right? Star Thomas was pretty good.
Star Thomas was
right
very
back.
good. Bishop as well. Don't forget Bishop.
YouTube, you know the deal.
They're liking what you guys are saying. All right, we go to the Big 12, which is, I think, America's conference. It's the most fun conference to watch.
It is.
Utah, Texas Tech.
We got this is a tough one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're really going over
Switching
there
sides now.
Yeah.
You going with Kyle Whittingham and Utes?
I'm interested to see what the YouTube chat is going to say with this one because this is not an easy one to pick here.
This is not. Now, hey, the transfer portal, it's working. It's working. The D-line is legit. It's scary. All right, we saw Sky running with the football before the former running back, right, running for a touchdown. The Utah Utes. Have you seen Devin Dempierre yet?
Yeah,
all right.
I've seen him.
Yes. I'm telling you, okay, Sky is really good.
But you see Morton too? Come on.
Huh?
You seen their quarterback too?
I've seen Morton. I'm impressed with him too, but I just think they've always been good on defense. It's a staple of what they do, right?
Yeah.
They are going to be so difficult. Offensive line is loaded. That's the other thing too. I want to see one of the best pass rushing teams go up against this offensive line because they are phenomenal with Devin Dempierre and his ability to beat you with his legs through the air. I really like Utah right now, right? I know it's early in the season, but I'm going to give a little bit more of an advantage to a team that's kind of been there and done that before with one bad year to a team that's figuring out how to do it for the first time.
You know, when you're looking at stocks, sometimes you look at who is investing their money into the stock. Is there a lot of money going into it? Because that means
you and Cody Campbell are investing a lot of money.
The research has gone in, and I am buying Texas Tech right now because that's where the money is going. Barry Morton is playing at a really high level. Back-to-back games where they have scored 60 points, and they are blowing their opponents out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, they are explosive. They're playing great on defense. I mean, the team that they went against today didn't have any yardage until the second quarter. So on defense, they're locked down.
Right.
On offense, they're explosive. It's explosive play after explosive play. And we know that they spent, $20 million on this roster?
It's good.
So, yes, it is tough to just piece it all together. I understand. I'm with you. They have been there, done that, and right now it is low. But this is the new fancy stock, the expensive car. This is like an old school whip. This is a new whip. Old and busted, new hotness.
Stratton Oakmont over here, right? Selling us.
Our YouTube chat is split. We got 56% on the Utes right now.
Really?
So
I understand why.
I knew this one would be closer. I was
going to make this point because I think it is fair. We saw earlier tonight just how important it is sometimes to bring your offensive coordinator with you and your quarterback.
Yeah.
John Matier, Ben Arbuckle. That's exactly what Utah did, bringing Devin Dempierre and Jason Beck over from New Mexico. And it's worked out really well. When you couple that with the defense, a healthy Utah team with some wide receivers on the outside this year, I think they go to them this year. I think Tech goes to Utah. Good luck playing up there.
Can't wait for that game.
So,
Not sure about the secondary yet, so I'm excited to see kind of how they develop as the season goes.
It has been 2 cupcakes.
Yeah, and replacing a Taj Brooks, the all-time leading rusher at Texas Tech, is not like the easiest thing to do. I think they got a really good freshman there, and Adam Hill. He played really well today. So, all right, let's go with our picks. We got a couple picks coming up for next week. Yeah. No, hey, listen, if you are in the right place if you want to make some cash. Right place. We're just talking about stocks.
How was that UConn pick today?
Hey, I didn't pick UConn.
No,
we went 2-0. We went 2-0 last week.
I had to.
Why aren't you guys up there on
petty.
the board?
We're both 1-1.
We were undefeated too. You didn't see it.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for
We're picking the
Making our
game
record look
next
worse.
week. Georgia and Tennessee. Georgia goes to Neyland. Maddie, who you got? Tennessee.
Yeah, do we
that
even
was
have
an
to
easy
ask
one.
me? I mean, yeah. No, sorry, DJ, part of our crew here that helps us get this show going every year. Big Georgia fan. Well, guess what? The Vols. All right.
What's it been? 8 in a row? 8 in a row? Georgia's won 8 in a row.
Doesn't matter. It's all about this year.
2016
okay? All right.
was the last time.
Don't bring up past
Make
traumas.
that 9 in a
What?
row. Make that 9 in a row because
yeah.
I am going with them dogs. Go dogs.
All right.
Because come on, Matt. I just feel like they got more firepower. This is revenge season for them. Revenge season.
All right. Hey,
Maddie's-
Tim Banks and the
Yeah,
boys. All
Maddie's
right.
being awfully quiet. I'm going Georgia
All right.
too. All right,
Yeah,
we'll go to the
you
next
guys.
one. Notre Dame and Texas A&M. We were just talking about this one. Notre Dame with the rare off week early on in the season. This week, A&M going up to Notre Dame. Real quick here, Matt, who you got?
Notre Dame, baby. Notre Dame. I know CJ Carr's young and all that, but I just feel like at home with their skill group and all that, the defense, Chris Ash did some good things against Miami. I'm going with Notre Dame here at home.
Notre Dame, baby. I think the week off is going to help them get their minds right, get their body straight. And Marcus Freeman, great head coach. He's going to have a good game plan.
Yes, sir.
We're going straight across here, Notre Dame, all the way across. We're
Wow.
not going to save the graphic here.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be a really exciting one next week up there at Notre Dame. So that'll do it for us. We went a little long today. We had producers in our ear saying, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about here in week 2.
A lot of exciting stuff.
Scubie's going to be in Australia next week, so he won't be here with us. But we're going to try and zoom him in from the airplane.
Down under, mate.
We'll see how that goes. For Skubie, Matt, I'm Sam. Thank you so much for watching the College Football Show presented by AT&T. We'll see you in week 3, everybody.